There's a story in the silence, a cry in the night. There's a voice that needs a platform. There's a fight for what's right. Shanette W. Johnson on the mic, speaking truth today. For the hurting and the healing, she makes a way. Justice in the room, healing in the line, purpose in the pain, every word aligned, breaking every silence, calling every name. When she said, let's talk about it, nothing stays the same. Let's talk about it,
bring it to light.
Shanette W. Johnson,
Speaking truth tonight.
for the voiceless,
For the voiceless,
for the unheard.
let's talk about it.
Let the healing
Be heard.
be heard.
Let the healing be heard.
Oh, yes, yes.
Healing be heard.
First and third Mondays, come sit for a while. Stories of courage, hope in every mile. Wrongful convictions, systems that divide. She stands with the people, walking by their side. From trauma to triumph, from silence to sound, she makes room for change where the truth is found. Justice in the room, healing in the line, purpose in the pain, every word alive. Johnson in Big Cracked,
Bring it to light.
Shanette W. Johnson,
Speaking truth tonight.
for the
For
voiceless,
the voiceless,
for the unheard.
let's talk about it.
Let the healing
Heal be heard.
be heard.
Let the healing be heard.
Let the healing
The healing be heard.
advocacy meets action. Truth meets grace. Every wounded heart gets a safer place. The people have a pulse, and the future's in view. What was kept in the dark can be brought through.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
Bring
it.
it to light.
Shanette W. Johnson,
Speaking truth tonight.
for the voiceless,
For the voiceless,
for the unheard.
let's talk about it.
Let the healing
Healing be heard.
be heard.
Let the healing be heard.
Let the
Let the
healing,
healing be heard.
yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Truth, heal,
Healing power.
higher.
Let's talk about it.
Every voice matters.
Every voice matters.
You're listening now, so let's talk about it. On the Crew Podcast Network, where every voice matters.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Crew Podcast. I am the visionary Queen Angela, and welcome to Season 2. I want to thank you for tuning in and for all of your support throughout Season 1. We're back them divas of the airways. So thank you for joining us tonight. Share this with someone in your circle.
At Wings of Transformation Publishing, we are committed to helping our authors reach their goals and pursue their dreams of becoming published authors. We work closely with each author to ensure a successful publishing experience, and we are dedicated to helping them tell their stories in the most meaningful and impactful ways. We look forward to putting you on the path to writing your book.
Let's talk about it with your host, Shanette Johnson. Join me every first and third Monday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and let's talk about it. Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Shanette Johnson. I am so excited to be with you on today, my first podcast. I am using this platform tonight to talk to my husband, Juan Johnson, about his wrongful conviction. And I'm just waiting for him to come up in any minute. Please forgive me. I am a little nervous. This is my first time doing this. So I'm going to try to relax my nerves. And soon as he come up, we're going to sit back. We're going to talk. I'm going to ask him some questions about his about the wrongful conviction that he's been facing. He's been incarcerated for the last 14 years for a crime that he didn't commit. So with no more talking from me, because I'm a little nervous, I have Juan on the phone. Juan?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
So I was just sharing with everyone about the wrongful conviction. And first I would like for you to give them a little insight on you. Let them know who Juan Johnson is.
Well, Juan Johnson is, for one, I want to thank you for allowing me to use your platform to get my message out on this wrongful conviction, first and foremost. Juan Johnson, I'm 54 years old, born and raised in Compton, California. I am a father of 7 children, 5 grandchildren. I had my own businesses when I was out in the world, in the free world. I owned my own barbecue spot and also drove over the road trucks. I drove over the road.
Okay, you sound just as nervous as I do. So we just gonna go like we normally just talk. So
Okay.
in July of 2009,
Yes.
am I correct? Tell us what happened that day. Let us know let the listeners know what happened. I want to start from the beginning and then we get into the meat of the of how everything, start from, let the listeners know how everything went down, and then we'll take them to the trial.
Well, July 21st, 2009 was really the worst day of my life. picked up. I was picked up from my place of business and taken into custody for homicide, which a person lost his life. His name is Roberto Jimenez, and my heart goes out to his family. I was arrested for homicide, which I did not commit, and even a jury of 12 said that I did not commit.
Okay, so we're gonna get to that part. So the day that you was arrested, was there a warrant? Did they have a warrant for your arrest?
No, it wasn't a warrant out for my arrest. I was picked up, and I guess the detective was hoping I had any information, which I didn't when I was picked up.
So basically, they wanted you to make up a story or give them some information or what? Can you explain that a little more for me, or
Well, I was asked by the detective, or I was told by the detective that pretty much he wanted me to implement myself in a crime that I did not commit. So pretty much he was saying, Vigil, which is the detective on this case, wanted me to implement myself or give him some information on this case, which I didn't have any. And he said, mainly, he say the first horse to the finish line wins the race. So meaning he's saying that anyone that offered him information pretty much wouldn't be charging the people that was involved in this case also didn't never get charged in this case because again he said the first horse to the finish line wins the race.
Okay, so since you didn't have no information, they went to someone else.
I didn't. You broke up.
Since you didn't have no information to give them, he went to someone else.
He went to someone else, yes, and I ended up with the charges.
And what was the charges?
First degree murder after deliberation and first degree felony murder.
Okay, so with them two charges, how long did it take them to get you before the judge, before your trials actually started?
It took I believe like close to 2 years for me to go to my first trial, and then my first trial was a mistrial, and I believe it was like 4 months later, May to September. Like 4 or 5 months later, I had my second trial, which I was found not guilty of first degree murder after deliberation, but I was found guilty of felony murder.
Okay, so you said it took you almost
27 months altogether for both trials for me to be convicted. It took 27 months.
27 months. So why did it take so long before the first trial started? Why did it take so long?
The witness that was in this case had a Fed case that he was arrested for, and they wanted to see whether detectives offered him a deal to pretty much implement me in this case, and I found all that out in the interrogations that he had. So pretty much my lawyers wanted to wait to see what the deal was before we end up going to trial.
Okay. So you said that your first trial was a mistrial because of lack of evidence. No evidence.
Yeah, no evidence.
Okay,
yeah.
So you get to the second trial. The day they was picking the jury, what was going on outside of the court the day they was picking jury?
Well, around lunchtime, when the judge dismissed the potential jurors for lunch, it was a rally going on outside on the courthouse, on the courthouse steps. It was a rally speaking about murder victims. So they were having a rally speaking on uh, how to put murders away for life, unsolved murders, and so on and so forth. It was a rally for victims of murder and their
So
families.
with the rally going on outside of the court, and then jury was on lunch, did your lawyer petition the court or go to the judge and ask them to look into that, or to throw out that jury? Because I would think that the jury is tainted with the protest that's going on outside the court. So what happened? Let us know what happened.
When we came back in, or when everybody came back in after lunch, my attorneys went to ask the judge, can they approach? They went and approached the judge and let her know that it was a rally going on outside, and they petitioned her to dismiss this jury pool because they wasn't sworn in yet, so it wasn't prejudice on either side. So it wouldn't have hurted anything to dismiss this jury pool and come back another day. So my lawyers were saying that I wasn't going to get a fair trial, but the judge refused to, and her name was Christine Hobbs. That was the judge on my trial. She refused to to dismiss this jury pool, and said that she would just ask certain individuals, or over half of them were out there at this rally, just watched the whole rally throughout the whole lunch period, which was like an hour, hour and a half. But the judge refused to dismiss the pool and just said that she would ask by a raise of hands who did it affect. Like I said, over half of them, it was 72 people or 72 potential jurors there in the courtroom, and over half of them raised their hands as saying that they seen the trial. And it went on from there. So then she asked how many did it affect. Multiple raised their hands. We ended up going into the chambers, and she asked them, how did it affect you and different things like that. Five of them said that it really affected them, and they was dismissed. The other one said that they can be partial, but at the same time, I have case law that says that if one juror was affected or a potential juror was affected, all of them were affected, and you must get rid of all of them. But she refused to do that.
Did she give a reason why she wasn't going to dismiss
the jury, the
yes,
potential jurors?
Yes.
No, she dismissed the five, but said that they was affected by it. A couple of them was crying in the chambers and everything, but she just said that she wasn't going to dismiss them because she wasn't going to start a new trial. But again, if they all was out there to see it, they're human beings. And speaking on murders, it has an effect on people. And when they're out there rallying it, it's speaking of how to put murders away for life. Because some people got away with it, some people wasn't. The murders that was the victims of that rally having their cases wasn't closed. And so by me being on trial for murder, it affected the jury from day one.
Okay. So let's start with your charges. You said that your first charge was
murder. Deliberation.
First, okay, and the second charge was
second charge is first degree murder, which was felony murder. So it's an A and a B. That's what makes them different.
Okay.
But they are one and the same. They are one and the same. The first degree murder after deliberation is the actual body that's been murdered. B which would be a murder happened in the commission of a felony, which makes it felony murder.
Okay, so during your trial, now we're finished to go into the trial phase. During your trial, when the witness was on stage, up on a witness stand, did he mention that he fabricated anything when the detective came to him? Because I was reading into your transcripts, and they were saying that that the witness and his wife made up stories before the detectives came to pick him up.
When he was in his interrogation, and also understand, he admitted to lying and making up stories so that he wouldn't get in trouble. Just throughout his whole trial, his whole interrogation with the detective, he would say that he made up stories, and if he felt like the detective was believing him, he would stick with that story. But when the detective would jump down on him, curse at him, and everything, and said that he was lying, he would change the story to something else. And this is what he was saying on the stand, but he made up stories throughout the whole interrogation. He's speaking this on the stand when he's saying that he's making up stories. He admitted to lying, admitted to just fabricating everything.
And so also
because he was facing an indictment. He had been indicted on a fraud case, so he was looking for a deal.
So also in your transcripts, it says that it said that the camera was cut off, and when they was interrogating the witness, but the volume was the volume was still on.
Okay, so pretty much the detective told whoever was operating the camera to turn the camera off, but the audio was still on, and the detective is telling, hey, you must say it like this. We only friends in this, and you need to say exactly what we're telling you to say. So you need to do it this way. Pretty much coercion, pretty much telling him what to say in this trial, in this interrogation.
Okay, so when
coaching, put it like that, coaching.
So I also read that his wife said that he called them and asked her to leave the house.
From what I learned over my research in my case is that when the drug deal went down, the witness is actually the one that I believe pulled the trigger to kill this guy, and he killed his friend to keep the money that was involved in the whole drug deal. And when that happened, he's not knowing that he's deceased at this time. So he ended up, I guess, getting the phone and calling his wife to get out of the house because he didn't know where he went after he's been shot. So throughout all that incident, he told his wife, and it's all is in the transcripts, to get out of the house and go to his mother's house, which stayed down the street. Later on, when they found out that Roberto was deceased, they ended up going back home. I believe made up stories over the month that he was before he was interrogated, and went back to work as nothing happened, just living his life.
Oh wow! So when the victim's wife got on the stage, I also read hers, and my heart goes out to her, where she was saying that they asked her, how did your husband sound? Did he sound like he was in any distress or anything? How did he sound? And she said normal, that he wasn't under no distress or anything. So I also read that the witness said that you, Juan Johnson, did not rob him, but
Right.
but you was charged with felony murder, and under my standing Colorado murders felony murder statute is that you have to commit a felony in order to be um convicted of felony murder.
Right.
Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes. So pretty much when he's on the stand, I mean when she's on the stand, I'm gonna talk about his Roberta's wife first. When she was on the stand, it was wait back up. First, when the witness is on the stand,
you have 1 minute left.
He's saying that me and Roberta was fighting over the door for me to get access into the car, which is another lie that he made up. Uh, so, and he was on the phone at this time with his wife. And so when they asked the wife, how did he sound when he got off the phone? She said that he was acting, he was normal. He said, I love you, kiss the baby, and I'll be home soon. She said, hurry, because the food is, I've cooked food for you. That's what she said on the stand. So there was no fighting over the door because, like I said, this is another story that he made up. And the phone hang up, so I'm gonna have to call you right back.
Okay. So right now, I am talking to my husband, Juan Johnson. He's currently incarcerated in Denver on a wrongful
The caller has hung
conviction.
up.
It kind of reading his transcripts and talking through to him is unbelievable. It's unbelievable when you have a detective saying that the first person to the that gives that implements someone wins, instead of going basing off the truth. You have no search warrant. You never went to his house or his business to see if 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 you can find any evidence putting him on a scene or anything. It's just mind boggling, and it I just didn't understand it. I just don't understand it. Juan, you back?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
So I was just sharing my little thoughts. I'm still a little nervous, and this is our first time really speaking like out like this. But it's just mind boggling when reading your transcripts and talking to you, listening to your case and stuff, how you can actually be charged with felony murder, and the witnesses on the stand saying that Juan didn't rob me.
Yes, he said that, and so he's on the stand, and they asked him, did Juan Johnson rob you? He says no. So that would be one of the elements that has to be proven in the court of law by the prosecution. And by me not ever being charged with robbery, I never defended against robbery, which is one of the elements again for felony murder. So it has to be, and I have to, if I may, I can read what the Colorado felony murder rules states, what a prosecution must prove to render a conviction of felony murder in Colorado. And he says there are only two elements a prosecutor must prove for a conviction of felony murder to hold. A felony was committed or was attempted, and a person not participating in the felony was killed. It says, though the two elements above must be present for a felony murder charge, a conviction requires proof beyond a reasonable doubt of homicide, which I was found not guilty of by a jury, of the felony, which I was never charged with in my charging documents, and the connection between both of the crimes must be together. And it says the homicide must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, and the underlying felony must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's what makes this felony murder conviction that I'm convicted of illegal. Because again, I was found not guilty of murder, and I was never charged with a felony, which the prosecution said a robbery happened.
So if you need a felony to go with the murder to have to get felony murder under their statute, you have to have an underlying felony, right?
Yes.
So why wasn't you able to defend against the robbery charge?
Because I was never charged with it.
So how did you get?
When I was charged with murder, the public defenders, the attorneys that I had, we defended against the murder, which was the prosecution the prosecution mainly spoke on that Juan Johnson committed murder. It was never that Juan Johnson committed robbery, but he mentioned it in the trial in passing, saying that, oh, Juan Johnson committed murder. Oh yeah, by the way, in the commission of an aggravated robbery. So when this going on, aggravated robbery is one robbery, but when I finished, when we was at the end of the trial and the judge gave the jury.
Wait, I just want to go back real quick. So, because this, even when we talk, I always go back to it because this robbery. How can someone mention the word robbery? The DA mentioned robbery, and they won't give you a chance to defend against it, or are you wasn't charged with it, so how can you defend against something just by word of mouth?
Just by the mention, I don't have a clue. I've been petitioning the courts all this time. I had to learn how to do it myself because the courts refused to give me a lawyer through my process of petitioning the courts. So every time I could petition them, they're not answering my issues, but they're going around it and saying that, oh, it should have been brought up before when I had a appeals lawyer, which never brought up anything about the felony murder. He brought up issues about the rally, the detective boasting on the lying witness and different things of that nature, but never anything about felony murder. So the courts are telling me that I'm procedurally barred from bringing up the fact that I was never charged with robbery, but I'm convicted of felony murder without a murder or a conviction of the felony, which is robbery.
But how can you not bring that? How come the courts is saying that you can't bring that up? Once again, that's just mind-boggling, just blowing my mind right there. That this is their law, and they saying that you have to have an underlying felony in order to tie it, in order for it to be felony murder. They need to do that. The felony have to go with that. The underlying have to go with that. So
again,
how could they not charge you for that? Well, they didn't charge you for that, but how can they not let you defend against something that that they saying that you did by the word of mouth? They just mentioned the word robbery. So now we're gonna throw robbery off in there. How can that, I mean, like, come on, Colorado, let's make it make sense.
it don't make sense. Again, I was found not guilty of murder, of first degree murder, by a jury of 12. I was never charged or tried or convicted of a felony, which is required for felony murder. Well, like I say, when I was going through trial, uh, the DA or the prosecutor was mentioning but aggravated robbery, but they're going to prove aggravated robbery. But again, they never charged me with any robbery. Uh, when they passed out the jury instructions, the jury instruction had the instruction of a simple robbery. So that would be two different robberies that they're mentioning in my trial at this time. But again, uh, they gave a verdict form for murder. They gave me a verdict form. They gave a verdict form for murder in the first degree. They also gave a verdict form for felony murder. But they never gave they never gave a verdict form for robbery because it was never charged. Now they charged me with the murder and everything, and they had a verdict form for that. But all I'm asking the courts here is I how am I convicted of this felony murder when again none of these laws or rules was followed. But again, they never address my issues. They only go around it and say, "But oh, it should have been brought up here. Your procedurally barred, your case is successive because it should have been brought up before." So they never answered none of my motions or petitions that I petitioned the court.
Wow.
And so it's been a back and forth. I've been in my 35. See, I've already went up all the way to the United States District Court, and they said that they couldn't address my issue because it wasn't exhausted in the state courts. And this is what I've been dealing with throughout this time, uh, going back and forth with these courts. So pretty much they're treating me as I am a professional attorney and telling me that they're not going to hear my case.
Wow. And
And this is
also,
what's so frustrating
well,
about it.
and also I was looking at your charging documents. I was looking at the verdict forms. I was looking at the jury instructions and stuff. And I noticed that in the jury instruction for robbery, um, it doesn't have the victim's name in it. And it has the witness name in it. The judge gave an instruction on robbery with the witness name in it. And on the charging document right here, you it has the victim name in it, but in the jury's instructions that the judge gave, it had the witness name in it. And when the witness was on the stage, the witness said Juan Johnson did not rob me. So how is that? How now? It's just like I still don't understand. Did you exalt? We have a question. Did you exalt all your appeals?
Right now, I'm in the Supreme Court. I have a claim. Well, the district court, the appeals court denied my motion for double jeopardy because I feel that this is a double jeopardy claim. So I am in the Supreme Court right now, waiting on a decision.
Okay. Okay. So it's just like it just blows my mind that you have all these wrongful conviction men and women serving time on wrongful convictions, being by a word of mouth because somebody making up stories, or the DA or the prosecutors just want to just want to win a case, or whatever they doing. And it just blows my mind that you can actually take away somebody's freedom for something they didn't do.
And all the facts are there. All the facts in my case are there. I have case law, where cases has been overturned due to the fact that the predicate offense was overturned. One person that I had, he was acquitted of the predicate offense, but he was still convicted of the felony murder charge. But when he went to the Supreme Court overturned it because there was no predicate offense. And
okay.
So that's what I'm dealing with now.
But okay, so the Supreme Court now, you said they overturned his case because it wasn't no predicate offense, right?
Right.
So you don't what they charge the crime that they have you in there on, the charges they have you in there on, you is not a predicate offense. You didn't get the chance to defend against the robbery charge.
No. I did not.
And again, with your charging documents, I'm gonna just show this. As you can see, this is the charging document, and you can see the charges. Okay, the charges on there, and it's nothing on there pertaining to robbery. Those are the two charging documents. That's the charges that he was charged with. Well, thank you, Juan, for sharing some of your story with us on this evening. I would like for you to come back again and sit with me and talk with me and stuff and things and stuff. We're not nervous. This is the first time that I spoke out against something. I always was a listener. I never was a talker. I just sat back and I just listened. But things like this, it needs a voice. We have men and women that's incarcerated that doesn't have a voice. That don't have a voice, that don't have family members or anyone that can speak out on their behalf. And this is the reason for this platform. If you know someone or you just want to come in and sit down and talk to me, call me. I would love to have you. We need to stand up against this. People, the officers are getting away with killing people every day, and they have body camera to see it. Just in Denver last month, the verdict came back when they killed this young African American man, Elijah. I want to say about a year or two ago, Juan.
Yes.
And 2 of the officers was found was acquitted, and one officer was found guilty. You know what his sentence was? He's out with a anklet on his leg. 6 months. 6 months. 6 months probation. Here you have men and women behind the wall, that's locked up and they didn't commit these crimes. When are we going to stand up and say enough is enough? When are we going to use our voice for something positive instead of talking about people, using our tongue? Because your tongue is the most deadly thing on your body. We can either use it to speak life or we can speak death. And I'm going to use mine to speak life into someone. I thank you guys for joining me on today and letting me talk, get used to this feeling. I thank you, and I hope that you guys join me again on Let's Talk About It. You can join me on the first and third Monday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Remember, use your voice and speak up, even if it gets shaky. Thank you once again, and please join me again on Let's Talk About It. Have a blessed night.
Thank you.
Let's Talk About It with your host, Shanette Johnson. Join me every first and third Monday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Free world, justice and purpose. Changing the room, breaking the silence, making hope bloom. First and third Mondays, come sit for a while. Truth with strength and a steady smile. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Shanette on the mic, and the truth stays solid. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Voices rise here, and the pain gets heard. Stories of courage, trauma to triumph, wrongful conviction. She won't be quiet.